Hello, I'm Callum Dilietto, and this is season 4 of the Flock Together podcast in partnership with the DMC Network. And we're here today at the Amano in Covent Garden, and I'm joined by Gavin.
Hello.
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 I have been equally
I'm going to get
dreading.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Nice to finally be asked.
Don't even start.
Go on. I've got to get that in at the beginning.
For everyone else to know, Gavin at every industry event for the last year has been basically saying, Callum won't have me on his podcast. Callum won't have me on his podcast. But the truth of the matter is I've asked every season and you've been busy.
It's true.
But you like to play the victim.
Yes, absolutely.
And now you can't anymore.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here now. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Yeah. We have nothing to say anymore.
You're going to be like, oh, have you listened to my episode of the podcast?
Yeah, we're selling it. I'll be promoting it. We'll be doing something different.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been equally dreading and looking forward to this episode because...
Brace yourselves.
Literally.
No, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fun.
Well, let's kick off. So the first part is remember, and it's an opportunity for you to kind of remember your first ever work trip abroad.
Yeah, I think it starts in black and white. It was that long ago. It's a long time ago. But I always say this story because this is what gets me into the events industry, which was quite good. So I started the industry working in an incentive travel company.
Yeah.
17, 18, I can't remember.
17, 18, that's 17. A long time ago. That is black and white.
It is black and white, yeah. It's a very long time ago. Well, I used to handwrite the airline tickets.
Yeah.
Write my own upgrades on, it's classic on the carbon papers. But the first work trip was, I remember it was like yesterday. So we did it for an insurance company. And it was when budgets would, make it up, whatever you want to do. Everyone flew business class. We went down to South Africa, to Cape Town. And we stayed in the Mount Nelson Hotel. And we had, the bands, the food was amazing, and we got helicopters out and stuff. And I was going, this is work. Like, they're paying me to be here. And I was like, if this is work, I'm in. I'm done. And it was like that moment. And actually, I remember my first boss. It's quite funny because I do like a glass of wine or two now. And I remember...
Really?
Really?
No.
I know, or a bottle or two. Yeah. But I love wine now. But it's quite funny because then I remember sitting at the gala dinner, and I was with my boss, and they came round. They said, wine or red or white? I was like, not wine. It's like, it's disgusting. I was like, I'll have beer. And I remember Scott, my first boss, said to me, he said, Gavin, you're drinking the wine, and one day drinking wine will be part of your job. And I was like, this sounds like an even better job than I thought, being, drinking wine, eating the best food, staying in the best hotels, flying business class, and getting paid. I was like, this is a job of, of all time, best job in the world.
Do you know what? It's super interesting. So throughout my, the beginning of my career and most of it, I had a mentor, Terry Mansfield. He used to be the CEO of the Hearst company. And when I joined this industry, I told him about it, and he said, as a journalist, you won't be the richest man in the graveyard, but you're going to have the richest experiences. And that really stuck with me, and I was like, that's so true. And when you do come into this industry and you do get to experience even just one of the trips that we get to go on, you're like, the value of that is beyond monetary. It's
you couldn't do it.
No.
And this is the thing. It's kind of like, I'm not saying that, people moan about it now, maybe COVID didn't help and all that stuff, but, people getting into this industry, I mean, they've got an opportunity of a lifetime. And I think looking back at me then, I wasn't meant to be doing this. This was an accident. And I think that the people getting into this industry now have got an opportunity. If they want it, it's there. And I think... just going through that list, like stay in the best hotels in the world, experiences that you're not paying for, fly business class, It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I almost don't want to sort of brag about it too much because it might get found out. I'm still waiting to get found out about, you're getting away and this is job, right? And, obviously there's more pressures now with, my role and so on. But, you get to go to, I was in Istanbul last week and, going to Slovenia tomorrow and I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts.
That ties in quite nicely because my next question was going to be, what was the last trip you've been on? I'm assuming.
Well, Istanbul was quite interesting. Yeah, that was the last trip, and You know, I have never been to Turkey. Obviously, got a load of abuse about am I getting my hair done or whatever. So, you know, the British Airways crew were taking a sweepstake, and I thought, you know, you're getting your teeth done or your hair done. I don't know what I was most offended about, but it was, you know, it was they do it. But I'd never been to Turkey, and I thought, do you know what? There's an opportunity here to go to Istanbul. My thing this year is to go to places that I've never been. You know, I'm not involved in booking events so much anymore. And I was thinking back to like what was the last actual event that I worked on. But there was this event we did in 2016, which was for Google DeepMind. And I got to live in the Four Seasons in Seoul.
Nice.
For 3 weeks. And we played the world champion at the game Go. And it was when AI was just coming in 2016. And it was always said that AI would never be as intelligent as a human. I mean, you think of what it's doing now.
Yeah.
AI would never be as intelligent as a human until it can beat the world champion at Go. Because the game Go, and I don't know if you know it, but chess, there's something like 200 potential moves per move.
Yeah.
But in the game Go, there's as many moves in the game Go as there are atoms in the universe.
Okay, yeah. But then that feels like it's more designed for AI than it is human brains.
Exactly. But you think what you can do on your phones. Yeah. But it was trying to beat the world champions. So these guys, these world champions, are like taken away from their families. Like when they're 6, 8, they go to academies and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so we did it. They Google worked out this thing that they reckon they could beat this guy. So we did it, and we put on the event in South Korea, live streamed to 200 million people, made history because AI won. And I literally remember waking up in the morning after the celebration, the party, whatever. I say celebration. I was a bit like, could be worrying that AI, you know.
I was going to say, this feels like the beginning of a dystopian movie where like the first scene is like, it'll be like, you know, the year 2018, and it's like, AI finally beats with it, and then fast forward 20 years, and it's like...
It was shock, you know, and like it was kind of like in Seoul, in the centre there, you know, there's all these massive screens, like Piccadilly Circus or whatever. There's also a plaque to Gangnam Style Man, which was quite funny. But, you know, we remember going out and looking at these boards, and it was like shock. It was, and it was a bit weird. But I remember waking up after that party, celebration party, gala dinner, and I remember waking up the morning after going, I'm done.
That's it. That was your last hurrah.
That was my last hurrah, and it was like I need to now go and build something big, you know. And that was the thing. I sort of so that was kind of like Istanbul was my last work trip. Slovenia will be the next trip.
But Korea was your last.
But I think Korea was the last hurrah, on an event. Obviously, I've been involved in others.
Yeah, of course.
You know, floating around more like I'm a spectator, I suppose, rather than. I mean, don't ask me to do rumour list and that anymore. I've forgotten, but that was probably my last big event.
The next part of the podcast is all about revisiting. So if you could transport your mind back into a moment to relive a destination experience, what would the destination be?
Sunrise at Uluru.
Oh, don't get me started on this.
I thought about this a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, do I say that? Because it's a bit...
No, it's a perfect answer.
But I looked back through old photos, as far as you can, and I remember, I'm thinking about it now, like just being there, like, everyone goes on about Ayers Rock and Uluru, and it's, the red and the rock, and you think, is it? It's bucket list stuff, right? And then having that sunrise breakfast and seeing it,
It's the most jealous I've ever been of you. I remember because we bonded on a trip to Australia.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time in Australia, and we did like Sydney and we did Cairns.
Yeah.
And that was a great trip. And I've been to Australia quite a few times now. I've never been to Uluru, and then literally a year later, I saw you there, and I thought, damn.
Probably sent you the video actually.
You did. You did really rub it in.
Yeah. But no, I think that was. I think there's lots of moments, isn't there? In like and actually, it's looking back and transporting. There's lots of moments.
But that's a good one as well, because it's not just a landmark; it's a spiritual landmark, right? Like that has been the centre of the indigenous kind of culture, and that there is something there that's probably not tangible, that's more spiritual there. So
I'm not really that sort of spiritual kind of guy, It's but yeah, it is, and it's you know, I was like thinking, you know, wherever I've been and stood and had like a glass of something and, you know, really remember, and it was like going back through, and there's loads of cliches, you know, like with the looking out at sea or being on a balcony somewhere or like that. But that was the moment I can really resonate, and you know, those moments. I mean, I might not ever do that again.
Yeah.
I might not, you know, maybe I will, but you know, to experience how we experience it as close as we could get. To be there to see that, and generally that area, like the drone show over at Antalya, I mean, it's a pretty cool.
That is a good. That might be one of the best answers we've had.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I know how
One of the
competitive
best.
you are.
One
Yeah.
of the best. One of the best. But I think that's the one that stands out most for me, I think.
And if you could make any hotel a home, which hotel would it be?
Holiday Inn in Portsmouth. Not really. I've been thinking about this, and actually, it would be in the UK because that's home. I would say Limewood
Okay.
in the New Forest.
Yeah. That's not too far from you anyway.
No.
Just literally.
Down
you're
an
back
hour
to-
away.
yeah.
But you know, I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, that's the place where. Well, I had the other place was La Manga, in Spain, because that was one of my first sort of events that I did myself. And I've been back quite a few times, and it's a weird thing because when I go there, I know the smell of like the area, the hotel, and everything like that, and it's like calm. It's nothing over the. I mean, I haven't been back since they've refurbed it, but you know, I think if I was to be there, you can buy houses there, and you know, but it's just nice. It's not anything too complicated. 3 golf courses, good weather, loads of different food, you know, and I'm sure there's loads of other places, but I think if I had to pick, I would say Limewood in the New Forest.
Yeah, I can see that. I think, you know, it's
not exotic.
It's not exotic, but it's kind of. I think you've set your home near your home, like so it makes sense. That
Yeah, I think. Do you know? It's like I was thinking about this question a lot because, again, you go and stay in all these hotels, and it's cool, but I don't think I've been somewhere yet apart from maybe those 2 places where I go. Yeah, I feel at home.
Yeah.
They're all really nice. And
it's the feeling. It's
feeling.
It's not the property itself.
Yeah, it's a feeling. It's a feeling of it. It's like, I mean, Limewood is amazing, but you know, as La Manga, but I like going to all the hotels. I still love that. You know, it's still part of one of the perks of the jobs and seeing it. But yeah, I'm kind of always ready to come on. Do you know the only thing is that I was thinking again? I didn't want to go on about it too much, but if the question was where else would I live, I would be in Australia.
Okay, interesting. But in a house, not in a hotel.
In a house. I'm not sure. There's loads of nice hotels and stuff, but I think being in Australia is probably I feel happy in Australia. I think it's a great place. It's a long way away though.
Yeah, it goes like this. Dip, dip, da-da-da-da-da, dip, dip, da-da-da-da-da, dip, dip, da-da-da-da-da, dip, dip, da-da-da. And it goes like this. And it goes like this. Yeah, around and around it goes. Where it starts, yeah, nobody knows. Pedal to the metal with the kiss. And it goes like this. And it goes. I like this. And it goes. I like this. Around it goes. Where it starts, yeah, nobody knows. Pedal to the metal with the kiss. And it goes like this. And it goes. I like this. And it goes. I like this.
The next part is about reimagining, and it's therefore creating an incentive trip for yourself rather than for a client. Where would you go? What would you do? And which celebrity would you bring with you?
Well, I was kind of thinking how I could answer this one, but no, the safest answer here is
You don't have to be safe.
Well, I do, because it definitely would be cut. But I would say 100%, I've always thought about this, Necker Island, Richard Branson. And I would be there. And just to have an opportunity to get into that guy's mind for a couple of days, I think would be insane.
That's so on brand for you.
Yeah.
Because you're one of the few people I know that your brain, the entrepreneurial side of your brain never turns off. Like even when we're on fam trips and this, that and the other, you're always thinking of new business ideas, new this, like, how can I evolve this business or start this business or whatever. There's always an opportunity. And I think someone like Richard Branson would be the perfect, person for you to bounce ideas off.
I just think, yeah, having something like go and play tennis, chill out, do all that stuff, and then having, being around that idea. There's lots of. I mean, I was trying to think of like how can I weave in David Attenborough here and, do something with that. And I thought, well, do I go to Augusta and play Tiger Woods and all this stuff? But I think actually, no. Do you know what? I love business. I think, I love business. I love, like you say, creating opportunities for me, for the future, for people, this industry, clients. I love all that. And then just to be able to have a few moments with him, just to sort of have a chat, I think would be good. And if I have to do that at Necker Island, which I've not, been to yet, well, I know you can, but I think that would be, for me, that would be where I'd go. I think when I thought about it, as soon as I said it, I was like, yeah.
Well, it's also that it's not like you're just like, oh, you can have dinner with Rich Branson, and then for an hour you're sat opposite each other, and having that relaxed environment where you're playing tennis, you're on the beach, you're having dinner, you're doing this. That's when the real gems will start to kind of.
And I think I think it's kind of like. I might say, I always said this is like I fell into events. Events happens to be the vehicle for me to do business. It was that sort of thing, and I was like, because I went to, Cape Town in business class when I was 18 and whatever, and I was like, this is nuts, and people making money out of this and they're building stuff. And if you look at all the businesses we've got now within the group, we're all working within the live event space. They're all very different, but the business part is what fascinates me. And I think that's what Branson said. And actually going back to what we were saying about like the properties, it's a feeling, right? And I think that's important. What does it feel like to work with anyone within the assemb group? What's it feel like when you engage with someone from assemb? What's the memory of? Do we have fun? Yeah. Do we, we nice people? Hopefully, do we do good work? Absolutely. But the stories that people the stories are the most important things, right? And we don't really do much different than the next person from another event company, but we obviously have an assemble way. And I think when you think of someone like Branson, you could say Virgin Airlines.
It's the Virgin way.
It's instant.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I actually looked at when I was building the assemble brand and the thing. I was like, that's important to me. When you say that I met an assembler.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was very much like, as soon as you say assemble, I want people to get an emotion of something, good or bad. At least have an opinion.
You could play a Virgin Atlantic advert in black and white, so you can't see the red, and take away the logos. You could play that to someone and say, which airline do you think this is?
100%.
And they would know.
Yeah.
Like, it's beyond just the colour and the logo. There is something.
But I think you can go, if you go, right, I'm going to fly British Airways to New York, whatever, or I'm going to fly Virgin. They're doing the same job, right? And this is what I've always thought about, like us in the events industry. An agency is an agency. What's that point of difference? Hopefully we've created a lot more of that with the group and what we've done. But I think as soon as you say with the flights, you can get the same flights. Let's say they're the same money, and you're going to get the same thing. You're going to end up in the same place. But you say Virgin, and you say BA, straight away. And I think that's pretty impactful. That's, and any other business that he kind of throws, well, they're not all been success, which I also like, Virgin Cola and Virgin, all this nonsense.
Virgin Records.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, they've not always worked out, but it doesn't. Business isn't like that. I think, he's done some good. So there's my answer anyway.
Well, it feels like it's almost its own mini letter, but the next part of the podcast is an opportunity for you to write a letter to the industry. So what would that be?
I think it would be short and sharp. Be like, I am like pretty direct, like, let's not mess around here. I think it would just be, if it was a letter to the industry, I'd say embrace everything that's going to happen. Make the most of it. It's the best job in the world, and have a fucking good time.
I really like that. I like that.
P.S. Please don't clap when the pilot lands the aeroplane. Because that would be in my letter, Room 101. That's
Yeah.
my biggest thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'd say. I'd think because it's an amazing opportunity, and I think you literally. I remember going back through on to some of the interviews that we had, and when I used to do the interviews, for project managers, and that. So the guys will probably tell you now. They were like, "What do I need to learn?" I'm like, the world. I mean, it's endless.
Yeah.
And you can make it whatever you want to make it. The opportunity's there.
I really like that. Yeah. Love that.
That's it. Simple.
So the final part of the podcast is a quick fire round.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Brace.
Yeah. Packing, last minute or week before?
Last minute. Last minute. Yeah.
Carry on or check in?
Carry on.
Airport lounge or shopping?
Lounge.
You sort of had a question mark as you said that?
Well, I did. I was thinking, do I say I could pop into duty free maybe and then the lounge? But yeah.
Bit of both.
Lounge, yeah.
Aisle or window?
Window.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've worked this out because actually I didn't realise this for a long time. And I always used to say aisle. So it depends on where we're flying, right? And how we're flying. I know this is meant to be short and sharp, but here's the long answer.
Right.
But-
Economy, long haul.
Economy window. Oh, short haul window. Long haul aisle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, and business. So it doesn't really matter.
You like business? full
Yeah,
stop.
absolutely. Stupid question. Yeah, long haul business, yeah.
City or nature?
The seaside. Don't know where that fits. If I had to choose.
Okay. I'll
City
say,
or
I'll say
nature?
nature. I'll say nature. for
Yeah,
that.
nature. Yeah.
Lay in or early start?
Early start.
Poolside or seaside?
Pool bar on the beach.
Okay. So in
In a pool bar.
a pool.
Yeah.
But
Next
looking
to
at the beach.
Looking at the beach. An
Okay.
infinity bar, yeah.
Yeah.
Some cool beach club.
planned or spontaneous?
Spontaneous. Well, saying that, planned spontaneism. I don't think anyone's fucking spontaneous. They're not. They're not, because you can't just be. You can be. I know people say they're spontaneous, and I do like being a bit spontaneous. Like, oh, we're somewhere. Let's go see what happens. Let's see where. So in that, I'm spontaneous.
Yeah.
You can't just be spontaneous and book a trip and plan it. You can't do it.
I feel like I am a bit of that though.
Are you?
I've like booked trips a couple of days before and just jumped on a plane, got there, had no plans, and then
Yeah.
just blagged
Okay.
it.
Well.
But
Maybe.
that's the extreme case.
Yeah.
I do kind of understand what you're saying though.
Planned spontaneism.
Breakfast hot or cold? Hot.
Hot.
Yeah, your face just said, you were
What
like,
the fuck are you
look at
talking
me,
about?
like, what? I'm not going to have granola.
Yeah. What? No. Hot. Yeah.
And finally, hotel, room service or restaurant?
Restaurant.
Yeah. I
Good
can
bottle
see
of
that.
wine.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is it.
Don't be on your own.
Yeah. A bottle of wine in a restaurant is like really bougie. A bottle of wine at home
Fucking
in your
homeless.
room
Desperate.
is very different
things.
vibe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, do you know what? I think the thing is as well, is like, when you go and sit in a hotel in wherever, there's other people in that hotel probably doing the same thing, and you never know who they are. I've had some good stories and people over in the world, across the world, having a few drinks and whatever in a hotel bar. There's always someone to chat to.
Yeah.
Whether they want to talk to you or not, I don't know, but you
Well-
got to make it happen.
And we did finally make it happen. I've finally managed to talk to
Yeah.
you on the podcast. So
Thanks
thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much.
Thanks for
And-
finally having me.
Yeah. Never going to hear the end of it. And thank you for being part of the Flock community.
Brilliant. Cheers, bud.